My name is Full Metal Jackie. I am so excited because tonight on the show, I've got one of the most diverse singers out there, a man I'm a huge fan of. Mike Patton is with us on the show. How are you, Mike?
I'm okay.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
The fact that you're a fan, that's your problem. You know that, right?
It is my problem, and I'm good with that.
Not my problem.
So
your fault.
We're here to talk about, obviously, your most recent project. The self-titled debut from the band Dead Cross is out now. You're singing on it. And initially, you approached Dead Cross about releasing their album on your label. Had you already envisioned what you could add to this music when they asked you to join?
To be honest, no. And I just thought it was a really good band. And based on the people that were involved, I was like, and I hadn't heard it, like a note of the music. And I was like, I want to release it. And so I hit up Lombardo, about that very thing. And he goes, we're talking to a few labels. So I figured, maybe it won't, work out. And normally when bands say that, they're kind of like fishing around and they're probably, going to get a better advance or something like that. So I figured, well, look, it's a bunch of friends of mine, but maybe they don't want to be a part of my team. And that's okay, A few weeks passed with literal radio silence. And then Dave texts me and he goes, kind of timidly goes, Mike, Gabe just quit the band. And I know Gabe, he's the ex-singer, right? It was totally great, totally fitting for this music. And he goes, Gabe quit, and we might be looking for another singer. And I go, oh, that sucks. And then he goes, what would you say to do it, to be a part of it? And 30 seconds later, I was like, I'm in. You want me? I'm in. I'll try it.
So I
wasn't sure if it would work, but...
You had already heard the music?
Some of it, yeah.
Awesome.
But I kind of knew what it was, and I don't know. Just instinctively, I said yes, maybe before I should have. But it made sense. I mean, I'll be honest. I was going through sort of a midlife phase where I was listening to old hardcore bands that I had grown up with and kind of going, wow, this is actually really, really good. And oh, this is still inside of me, figuring that out. And when they asked me, it was, when Dave said that, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I think that vocabulary resonates with me, and I think I can do it.
I mean, it seems like it was a perfect fit, when you hear the record, which is awesome.
Not necessarily.
I think so. I mean,
I don't know. Well, I was busy doing a bunch of other stuff. It couldn't be more opposite. I was working on a film score and an easy listening record, and I had to put all that on hold to do this. And I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you is when you have that stuff inside of you, it's going to come out. And in my case, it comes out in maybe strange ways, and it becomes something else. So, yeah, it's a hardcore record, but, it's our hardcore record.
Mike Patton with us on the show. We're talking about the self-titled debut album from Dead Cross, and it's out now. Here's a tune from it. This is Seizure and Desist. Full Metal Jackie, Mike Patton is on the show with us tonight. We're talking about Dead Cross. The self-titled debut is out now. And the lyrics on Dead Cross are vicious, in some cases fairly direct. Which had a greater influence on your lyrics, the heaviness of the music or the state of the world right now?
The music. Yeah, it was all about the music. And I've never written lyrics that were this, I don't know, pointed or provocative, especially considering the state of the world that we live in now. So I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of go there. And I'm not really going there like, say, Jello Biafra would go there. But I'm hinting on it, and I'm also injecting a lot of humor and a lot of nasty imagery. And I think that hopefully it helps people, I don't know, think a little bit. And I'm not really a big lyric fan, to be honest. I think the music tells the story. Lyrics are just kind of background to me. In normal, in most bands that I've played with. This one, I kind of I kind of took a different turn, and I don't know if it works. Who knows? It feels good. That's all I can tell you.
Mike Patton with us on the show tonight. It's Full Metal Jackie. Quick break. Coming up next, we're going to check out a new tune from Arch Enemy. They released a new album this week. We've also got Josta's weekly pick from the pit coming up in a bit, and more with our guest, Mike Patton. It's Full Metal Jackie. Mike Patton is with us on the show tonight. We're talking about the band Dead Cross, which Mike is singing for. The band also, of course, features former Slayer drummer Dave Lombardo, Justin Pearson from The Locust, Retox, and Headwound City, and Michael Crane from Retox and Festival of Dead Deer. So far, everything about Dead Cross, writing, recording, and rehearsing, has been frantic by the seat of your pants. How has that approach served the music to make it better?
Well, I don't know if it's better, but it's like the only way that we know how to do it. So, like, I joined this band after they were already a band, understand? And they had a singer. So, in a sense, the only thing that I can compare it to is like when I joined Faith No More, which was kind of similar. They had a singer who they weren't getting along with or whatever, or that singer quit or they got fired or, I don't know. I don't get involved in that. But I came in after the fact. And so the Faith No More experience taught me very well how to deal with this experience, which is, hey, they hired me to do vocals. I'm not going to rewrite. I'm not going to rewrite the Bible here. I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel, so to speak. So all I did was I contributed vocals, and it came at a really, really good time where I was listening to that stuff and kind of rediscovering that stuff and also re-examining myself. Like, I thought that Phantomas would get that out of my system, but it didn't. So it's still in there, and this was a perfect way to contribute to someone else's vision and also make it comfortable for me.
Full Metal Jackie, still to come. Josta's weekly pick from the pit with Jamie Josta of Hatebreed. Got new music coming up from Comeback Kid, who just released a new album this week. Music from Metallica and more with Mike Patton. It's all on the way. Full Metal Jackie, Mike Patton is with us on the show tonight. And Mike, you mentioned earlier about the fact, Dead Cross was already established when you joined, just like Faith No More. What were some of the deja vu moments when you were working on your parts of the songs?
Well, the difference is that Faith No More had a few records out, so they were, I guess, more established. So I was coming into a situation that was a little more ingrained, I should say. This one was new, and there was no record out. So what I did with this band was, and we talked about it, their previous singer had melodies and vocal parts already written. And they told me, no, forget all that. So I'm like erasing my mind a little bit. And they go, write your own stuff. So I did. And some of it's similar, some of it's very different. So I'm not sure if that answered your question or not, but that's the way I approached it. Was from a clean slate point of view, even though there was other stuff that was going on, before I joined. Does that make sense? Totally
makes sense. And I feel like what you did worked. It was kind of amazing hearing the record. Dave played it for me in the car when I had hung out with him, a couple of months ago. Yeah. And I was just, first of all, it was so cool to hear your voice on that music. And, it's not like your voice is heard on, it's not like you do guest vocal stuff or you sing for a ton of other bands. So it just was such a cool thing to hear. And I was like, holy crap, this really works. It's awesome.
It's weird. I told them, I warned them, I was like, guys, when I sing on this, it's not going to be like full on 100% genre specific hardcore. It's going to be weird. There's nothing that I do that belongs anywhere. So I kind of warned them, and they were like, we're up for it, man. Do your thing. And they gave me, to their credit, they gave me full reign on all the tunes. Like, do whatever the you want, and however it sounds, we'll deal with it. So I have to, tip my cap to them for giving me the freedom to do it. It wasn't like, no, you've got to be like Ian MacKaye or Henry Rollins or whoever, It was, do you. And that made me feel really, really comfortable. And that's why I did it, to be honest.
Full Metal Jackie, Mike Patton is with us tonight. We're talking about the new Dead Cross album that Mike sings on. Coming up this hour, we're going to be hearing from a member of Death Clock for the Death Clock Brutal Pick of the Week. We've also got new music from Trivium and Cradle of Filth coming up. More with Mike. It's all on the way, so stick around. It's Full Metal Jackie, Mike Patton with us on the show tonight. We're talking about Dead Cross, and stylistically, you're involved in a lot of different music. What's the one element that's the same in anything that you do, whether it's Dead Cross, Phantomus, Faith No More, or scoring a Stephen King movie for Netflix?
If there was a gun to my head, I would just say the similarities between the things that I do are because I'm working with good people, the people that I trust. And I really try not to get involved in situations where maybe something could go horribly wrong. Meaning, someone I don't really know or trust, I need to have a security blanket in anything I'm working on.
It's Full Metal Jackie. Quick break. Up next, the Death Clock Brutal Pick of the Week, along with a new track from Trivium, and more with our guest, the one and only Mike Patton. Full Metal Jackie, Mike Patton with us on the show tonight. We're talking about Dead Cross, and it's in the same vein as music that affected you as a kid. What changes and what's the same when you're making that kind of music as an adult?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can only speak personally, but the way that I would describe it is this band had some of the elements that like supercharged me, like when I was a youngster, and it reminded me of that. And I think the only way that I could describe it is, well, we've all had a lot of experience since we were 16. You know, me and Dave are, basically, he's over 50. I'm about to turn 50. So we were like, how can we make this ours? And even if I were to sit down on paper and draw out, okay, here's what a hardcore singer should do, I wouldn't follow it. It's just like, I gotta do my own thing. So it's going to be impure. And I realized long ago that anything that I do with whatever band is going to be some sort of weird hybrid, some sort of bastardization of what I'm really trying to do. And that comes from, experience and, I don't know, a lot of influence and many years of doing it. So, yeah, is this a hardcore record? I think so. A lot of people, a lot of really close friends have told me, no, this is something else. It's something totally different. It's really exciting. And so that just proves the fact that what I'm hearing in my head is not what everyone else is hearing on the outside.
It's Full Metal Jackie, Mike Patton with us. Coming up next, we'll be checking out a new tune from Cradle of Filth. We'll also check out another one of Mike Patton's bands, and we'll hear more from him, so stick around. Full Metal Jackie, that was new music from Cradle of Filth, Heartbreak, and Seance. Mike Patton with us on the show tonight talking about the band Dead Cross that Mike is singing for. And Mike, is this a one-time thing for this Dead Cross album, or do you think you'll continue beyond this?
I think we should. I mean, it's going so well, and it feels really good, and we get along really well, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't put out another couple of records and keep touring. So we'll see.
That's
but,
awesome.
I've learned to not make too many promises in advance. So who knows?
and is there anything you can share about the status of Faith No More?
No, I mean, I would share, but I don't know anything. So we're kind of on an extended break. And if something happens, it'll happen organically and naturally. But I kind of don't think it will. I kind of feel like we've tipped the scales a little bit. But we'll see. Who knows? I mean, I've learned my lesson not to say no.
Well, it was obviously so amazing to have you guys back and doing some shows, and hopefully, if the time is right and opportunities are right, you guys will
we'll see.
Get together and do some more.
Like one of those things. It's kind of like going to a family reunion and get along with your uncle, and you're like, oh, we're going to go to the next barbecue. Okay, fine. I mean, that's really the way it is with us.
And one last question about Faith No More. What are your thoughts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I mean, Faith No More is eligible, and I feel like a band that...
Really?
Yes.
What does eligible mean? Like, what does that mean?
Timing-wise, in terms of like when your first album came out, there's a certain amount of years.
There's like a criteria for that?
Yes. I'm guessing you don't pay attention to that stuff.
No. That's why I'm asking. I have no clue. No.
Is it something that...
I don't know. If that happens, wonderful. If not, fine. It never crossed my mind until you just said it. I mean, we're old enough, I guess, right? I mean...
Well, I don't think it has to do with your age. I think it has to do with the age of the band and the album releases and stuff.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Age and age of the band is kind of the same.
Well, I think if it were to happen, you guys would absolutely deserve it. Just saying.
Who knows? Put in a vote for us.
All right. My vote means zilch, but I will put in a vote for you. Mike Patton with us on the show. It's Full Metal Jackie. Pick up the latest record from Dead Cross, the self-titled debut. It's out now. Mike, thank you so much. This has been really awesome. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope I didn't let you down.
It was awesome.
All right.
Full Metal Jackie, thanks for hanging. You can find me on the web, fullmetaljackieradio.com. Gonna leave you off with a song from another band that Mike Patton was in. If you're a fan of Mike's, you should check out this record from Mr. Bungle, their self-titled debut. This is Quote Unquote See Ya.